It means American people or it means European people like a joint work to sell their product overseas.
The documentary I showed you last week about sushi was made by not by a Japanese firm.
Really?
Yeah, foreign firm, foreign director.
They made video?
Yes.
It
It was a typical, like a documentary, but it's typical a brand building experience from the outside. So people who looked at it and they could pick out the uniqueness of the culture, the uniqueness of the food, the uniqueness of the experience, and what exactly highlights what makes it important from an outsider. I think that there is then it's very difficult if you are in the middle of it to take enough distance from yourself and from what you're doing, and to look at yourself objectively and then say, okay, why is my product unique? So it's very helpful to have an outsider to come and evaluate what you're making, what you're doing, and how that is unique in the perspective from the people that they are from the customer perspective.
It means we're going to work with Italian designer and French designer, American designer to create Japanese unique product into the global market.
Well, it has been done before. Like a lot of car makers, they hired Pininfarina, or I'm not really sure what the names.
But why they didn't success?
No. Actually, there were quite a few successful examples of cars that were designed by Pininfarina. Anyway, to make models that sold very well.
But didn't continue.
It didn't continue. It was just like Uniqlo. They work together with designer for 1 year's fashion collection, but next year they work with somebody else.
We cannot establish the network of global designers.
Maybe you need to hire global designers and then give them the freedom to actually drive the design of the car, because that's another danger, of course. You can hire outsiders, but you also need then to let the outsider opinion prevail within your organization. That's not so easy.
So it means some way we need to make a bridge communication network overseas, right?
Well, yeah, we need to learn basically to look at ourselves from the eyes from others, from our customers, from the people that we want to sell to. Really get to understand what drives them, who they are, why they buy the things that they buy, who they want to be, how they see themselves, and create products and experiences that actually tap into those needs. So you really need to get to know and understand and learn what drives your customers, and that's different from every nation.
Yeah, and of course, the reaching the local market, overseas market for Japanese and Japanese company. I sometimes read from my business partner in Vietnam and Bangladesh and Myanmar. It sounds like they are understanding. Sometimes they are understanding more than they know Japanese more than Japanese.
Really?
They are so interested in Japanese history that some of my friends even know the exact name of the former emperor in Japan, and they might know the advantage and a good point somewhere respectable about Japanese, modern Japanese.
Really?
So we might be able to find our identity. So even though it's not all, but we could have some hint that help us understand ourselves.
Yeah.
And even asking someone else, not Japanese, not local person, who does have different view from Japanese and local people might help us more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would help. Sometimes it's easier to see and understand somebody from the outside looking in than from the inside looking out.
So, for example, Japanese government project will always hire a Japanese consultant. Who is supposed to translate.
Correct.
Yeah, and Japanese side to local side and the local side to Japanese side. So it will be appointed by Japanese. Then they hire Japanese. But it could be, I think, based on the discussion today, it could be different person, different country.
There would maybe be better capable of selling the Japanese uniqueness and the Japanese contribution to the success of the project than the Japanese themselves.
You're right. They hire Japanese consulting company anytime.
Yeah. That it's easy to work with. They speak the same language. They understand the business culture. But I think that kind of looking for comfort is wrong. Especially when you are trying to do business overseas, you need to understand and accept the fact that things are not going to be as smooth as you are. But that's the price you pay for expanding your market, like I don't know how many times.
But usually Japanese company top executive, they can speak English but not fluently. They try to spend non-foreigners for just not only they try to only business, not like private time.
And actually, during that private time, you can work on your story, right? Because then you come to understand what's on this person's mind, what his life looks like, what his concerns are, what things that he would like to achieve in his life, and then you can adjust your proposition to actually suit those deeper needs.
Right. We don't discuss about in detail, issue, private issue.
Yeah.
So if we're going to talking about mental allowances or fun or entertainment, this is not only talking about only pure business, right? Like we try to talk with non-Japanese people, spend more time, and looks like useless time. Kind of an effort going to be required, right?
Although I must say that what I heard, and I don't have the experience myself, but I heard from a lot of foreign people when they tried to do business in Japan, that they were becoming very nervous about the fact that never any progress seemed to be made during these meetings. So they would go to Japan, have a business discussion, go out for eating, drinking, and then, but never business was discussed. Then they come back, and again there's a lot of discussions. Maybe they meet different people, eating, drinking, no progress was made. It was that didn't seem to be a real agenda to move business forward.
Why?
At least I don't know. This is what I heard.
I think it's the time for Japanese after 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. just time to go crazy.